Hey everybody, welcome to Lettermen Row. I am Austin Ward, and we're doing the first ever Letterman Rewind, sort of live Buckeye Q. I don't really know what else to call it. This game, you might remember it pretty well. Joined by Cardale Jones, 12 gauge, Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State legends with a national championship ring, and a big part of the reason why is this game right here. So with everybody locked in on quarantine, we thought, hey, let's try something new, get these guys' thoughts on one of the biggest games of their career. Hope you guys are both well. Cardale, hope you're staying safe with the quarantine. Thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. I'm just locked in my room right now, and this is definitely a pretty cool thing to do that, we can't do too much stuff anyway.
And Tyvis, we've had you in a couple times in the studio. This is obviously remote, not quite the same experience as getting you in person, but we appreciate you taking some time as well to relive this night, a special night in your career.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me. I do miss having the clicker in my hand, but this worked too.
That part was obviously way more fun. So we're not going to get to do it that way, but we'll try to make up for it the best we can here. This night, what was it? What were these nerves like when you're going through the tunnel there at the Sugar Dome and Superdome and getting ready to start this night?
Oh, for me, it was just.
Tyvis, you can answer first.
Well, for me, it was a hype game for sure. It was at that time, it was the big bad Alabama. The world was doubting us. Everybody had us not winning that game. And, after watching the film and doing all the preparation, we realized that, they're not that special of a team like people would think they are. They had a lot of holes in their game, and we was just going to try to exploit it.
It's crazy to hear you say that, Tyvis, because, no one was picking you guys to win this game. Well, I did pretty famously. People gave me a bunch of crap before the game. There were 45 people, I think, that worked at ESPN, and I was the only one out of 45 that picked you guys to win. So, there was such this underdog mentality for you guys.
You're a smart man.
Well, you guys proved me right, thank God. But, it's just it's crazy to think back that you guys had that confidence to win the game when maybe it's because everybody was picking against you. I don't know.
Well, we was a very special group. This was a team that once we lost to Virginia Tech earlier in the season, we all came together and said, we was going to find a way to win no matter what the situation was. And I think that's what we proved for the rest of the year, obviously.
12, you had just one start before this. Obviously, that was a pretty big storyline for this game and everything that happened that season. Were you, at this point, walking out here and doing the pregame, were you nervous?
No, not really. I was more anxious than nervous. I guess I'm nervous running there a little bit because, it was such a big stage, definitely only in my second career start. My mindset was I just don't want to mess it up. I was surrounded by an unbelievable group of guys, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball as well. So, honestly, my job was not to mess it up. And then the team was clicking, like Tyvis said, after that Virginia Tech game, man. And to me, honestly, after the Indiana game earlier that season, I think it might have been the first or second Big Ten game. And it was a home game, and I think we went up 14-0, and then they just stormed back and scored 14 straight, and then we just poured it on them. And long story short, just seeing how our team kind of gelled together from that point on. It was just we got a very special group on both sides of the ball. And I was the new guy on the block, sort of say, definitely in that position. So I'm like, hey, we mess up or we lose, it's definitely going to be my fault because these guys know.
I remember all throughout that month and during the media availabilities, Tyvis became the most popular guy on the team because he knew you so long and he was, talking about you being his son and all, all that's that's all we heard about. He was the go-to. What was Cardale like, younger and growing up, and is he going to be able to get it done? Tyvis became this superstar almost because of you.
Whoa.
No, man. He was already. No, man. I got your back, man. I got your back.
How about media MVP? How about that?
He was already.
Let me get it right. I'll get it right.
He made not just some great plays on the field, but kind of solidified himself within the Ohio State kind of Buckeye Nation with previous year with it. I think I sealed the interception against the team up north. So I'm pretty sure, they dove into Tyvis pretty deep because us being roommates and being pretty close, wanted to see what was I really thinking and all that type of stuff. But no, I wouldn't say that made his name.
That's right. Having that 2-point conversion in the game in 2013 was a pretty big one. I don't mean to shortchange your own career, Tyvis. That's my bad.
Nah, you good. I know what you meant. You good.
We'll get to that next big interception.
Young Dale.
That was the other thing, is you keeping those balls from those pivotal moments. I think we'll probably see that in about half an hour on this film. But
yeah, you know, I always, you know, every time I'm needed, I'm here.
All right, so you've got no nerves for drive number one, just a little anxious to get rolling. Cardale, what do you remember about getting this game started?
Yeah, more like I said, more so anxious than nervous. I know it was freaking super loud there. It was like a freaking home game for them guys.
Working with 15 there. How much fun was he to have in the backfield with you?
Man, extremely. He made my job a lot easier. Definitely when it came to pass protection. A lot of people don't realize, man, Zeke is one of the best players, not just with the ball in his hands, but without. I mean, if he's blocking in protection, as he's running downfield, throwing his body, lead blocking on some of the quarterback powers or things like that. Like, you just see that he's chopping the guy on the edge, solidifying the edge so I can try to get around it. So he's definitely one of the guys that I can definitely say played the hardest. He played just as hard without the ball that he's played with the ball in his hands.
It's like if today's
and by the way, Evan made that catch, by the way. That was a catch.
Look at that.
That's what I was going to say.
It looked like a catch for sure.
How does this not go to replay?
I don't know. He called the damn ball, though. That thing didn't move.
I don't see it touch the ground at all.
Yeah, that's a catch.
No, that was crazy. Definitely shouldn't have threw it, but man, a guy like that, just put it in his area, he'd make it happen.
Okay.
I think this is the part that really surprised people, like mainly in the Wisconsin game, Cardale, but your ability to make some things happen with your legs. I don't think people really realized that this was part of your game.
I mean, I'm not a design quarterback run guy when it comes to East and West, and more so power. But I like to think that I'm more of a threat when I got Yeah, no, not at all. Definitely not making any of the moves he made. But I definitely think it's more so of like when you have an opportunity to pull it and run, and things are not there, then I'm effective running that way than design quarterback runs.
I think you ran it something like 17 times in this game, and you did a fair number of that against Wisconsin, and did that against Oregon too. Like 17, yeah, 17 carries. Like that's and moved the game.
12.
I'll let Tyvis say on your rushing ability there.
Hit it with the stiff arms.
12. When you think back on this, Tyvis, like, did you always really believe that this could happen for him?
Cardale?
Yeah.
Listen, one thing I always said about Cardale, that boy could throw that ball, boy. If all else failed, that boy could deliver that ball. So I always knew, like I said,
man.
For me, it was like in 12, we trust. We was good. It didn't matter. I knew when he got his moment, he was gonna shine. Like I say, I've been seeing him since high school. I went against him in a 7-on-7, and when I was like, he can throw that ball for sure. So we was good.
Was that a designed run there for you, 12?
Yeah, definitely with my cup of tea going east and west.
Yeah, just after we talked about your rushing ability, they dial one up, a little quarterback sweep or whatever that might have been there. That one didn't work.
Right. I'm like, them things built for speed. Oh, man.
You got to hit it with the unexpected, man. They didn't think you was a runner.
Right. Yeah, look at young Herb.
He aged a little bit after this game, I think.
I like to think that I had some effect on his aging.
Well, you got him a ring.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. You know, you do be stressed out looking so. He He be going through it, though. Good. Ooh.
That's ready for that one.
When you start a drive like this, Cardale, did you get this sense at all that Alabama would? You guys didn't score here. A spoiler alert on 3rd and goal, but you guys came down and punched them in the mouth a little bit. Did you sense that they kind of realized what they might be in for at this point, or that you caught them off guard? What was kind of going through your mind there early?
I think so. I think that we just at that point we just confirmed what we all thought about the team, that even though there's #1 team and had all these accolades and had success for so many years, that we deserved to be in that spot, and we wasn't going to lay down. So that's the mindset that we went in that game with, and I think that first drive really proved it, not just to ourselves but to everyone watching too.
Were they trying to talk trash to you or get in your head or rattle you? I mean, you're like you said, it was still your first start or second start. Sorry, I mean you didn't have that much experience. Were they talking to you, trying to rattle you?
A couple of guys were talking, but that's when like I usually don't engage in it too much, but I mean it's just part of the game.
I don't believe that you don't engage in trash talk for 1 second.
Not too much of it.
Okay.
It depends. It all depends.
If it's practice and Tyvis is on the other side, then that might be a different.
Oh, I don't shut up in practice. In practice, I don't shut up.
There may 2 of us then. But I see it on the field too. You know what? Ain't nobody really ever say nothing to me. So
Yeah, I don't shut up in practice at all. I'm on your butt in practice, no matter what. You get a good play. That was lucky.
I imagine you guys had some pretty good practice battles in 2014, as loaded as this team was on both sides of the ball.
Oh, for sure. Tyvis, no. When I broke for what was that, about 60 on y'all on the quarterback draw?
Never. I don't recall.
What?
I don't recall.
It was on some Saturday practice.
I tell you what I do remember. I remember Steve. I remember Cardale coming in. He's live. Cardale was live. Yeah. I remember Steve about killed you in practice. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
That must have been August before you became way more valuable property.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I'm about to say
I was live all the way up into my last year in college.
Really?
He's live.
For the most part.
Even after Braxton got hurt, you stayed live in practice?
Somebody hated me.
I've heard that before. So, I mean, that might have actually helped, right, to get ready for what happened those last 3 games. If you've been taking some practice hits, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like it could have, right?
Nah, not really. Nothing can really simulate the physical aspect of the game.
All right, so Tyvis
was even though you may be live in practice, I'm pretty sure your teammate don't fully just try to, take you out. But that day, Steve Miller did.
I'm about to say, that day, Steve, you tried to kill me.
He tried to kill me.
But like I say, Cardale got a stiff arm from death. He didn't caught a couple victims in practice on that stiff arm.
Yeah.
Ooh, get out there. Okay, Jay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I obviously skipped quite ahead here into the late in that second quarter. There wasn't a lot for us to break down after that opening drive, but what was the mood for this on the sideline, Tyvis? For you guys, you started getting some stops here in the second quarter, but you were still down pretty, two scores at this point. You guys said you came in really confident. You knew you guys could do it, but when you're down 21-6, anything change? Any mood on the sideline? What was going on for you guys at this point?
No, I mean, they got some talented players. I mean, it is Alabama. I mean, they got Amari Cooper, who was in the Heisman race. They got Derrick Henry, who's like the biggest running back. O.J. Howard was really good. So, I mean, it's not shocking. I mean, what the confidence for us was that the offense was actually getting down the field. Like, they couldn't really stop our offense. We just kept going for 3 points. That's where we was like, okay, so we just got to hold them because the offense is going to figure this thing out. That's one thing I can say about Coach Herman. He will figure it out. And once we get it going, like, they're not going to be able to stop it. So we was just trying to keep it as close as possible. I mean, yeah, they got a couple of things going, but, you know, we figured change that all that in a second. That's what adjustments is for.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we look at, you know, we got down there 2 times the first half and settled for 3, and both of them was errors on our offensive side of the ball. As far as, you know, I signaled the play in wrong. I think I signaled the play in wrong and read the wrong side or something like that. And the second time was just, I think I bobbled a snap and fumbled it and just jumped on it. So and then the plays that you look at, the defense, Alabama, you know, took advantage of. Our defense was, you know, holding them, and they just had a couple, I don't want to say lucky, but big plays that we had, a couple missed tackles and things like that. So it wasn't like they wasn't driving the ball like we were driving the ball. If you ask me what's more demoralizing to a defense and to a team is when that offense is just driving the ball, getting 7 to 8 yards a pop and getting, you know, 9 to 10 yards to catch on every, you know, run or pass. More so than, you know, your defense got them in 3rd and long and they converting on a couple of missed tackles and things like that. So when you're looking at the things that we were doing on offense, they really wasn't stopping us. We were stopping ourselves.
Yeah, and I think even at halftime, I think we read the stats, and I mean our offense had like ridiculous stats.
Yeah, we had over 300 yards of offense in the first half, and we're still shooting ourselves in the foot and still feeling like crap going into the locker room because the score, you know, and I got a couple of buddies that play on that team, the score shouldn't have been that close in the game.
Right.
And I tell them all the time, our ass lucky.
That's kind of been, it seems like a theme, you know, not just with your team that year, but Ohio State in general. If you look at what happened in the Fiesta Bowl to Ohio State just last season, that was a completely dominant game that Clemson needed a bunch of fluky plays to keep it close and win. Like, it's almost like Ohio State has become at this point a team where if you don't have some of that fluky stuff go your way, you don't have any chance. You guys kind of got that started, and this game was the embodiment of that. You were able to turn it around where this last Fiesta Bowl couldn't overcome the officiating and the ejection and all that. But you guys go into all these games, and it's like most times there's a reason for you to be that confident. You know you have the talent to win every game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we recruit the best players in the country. We got the best coaching staff in the country. We got the best strength coach in the country. You know, once everybody reach their full potential and everybody is giving their all, I mean, it's truly unstoppable. I mean, that's obviously what happens. We just go out and dominate all the time because, you know, we got like I said, the talent is there, the coaching is there, and the strength training is there. You know, everybody's mind, once their mindset is right and the team becomes a family, it's too hard to beat that.
Yeah, but still got to get other teams the credit, you know, for taking advantage of our, you know, slip-ups or things that we don't capitalize on. Because if you look at it from another's point of view, they like, hey, well, you know, we made y'all slip up, or we made y'all do this. Yeah. So you still got to give team a credit. But, you know, in the most part, I think that, you know, some of these games, definitely looking back on my career personally, did not have to be as close as they were, or we didn't have to lose some of the games we lost.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's. I just think of those 2 games for you. Like, this was one kind of half that wasn't ideal for you, and then the Michigan State game, which, you know, that wasn't, you weren't in at quarterback there, but, you know, those games when you let them get close, that's about the only time it's going to get away from you, because those were just self-inflicted errors, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, excuse me. Jacoby got hurt this game?
He got rolled up on.
Fat Pat.
Went to center.
Fat Pat.
He doesn't look like he's ready to win the Remington Trophy right there in that one. Took him a year or two.
No, Pat. That was like my first roommate in college. Pat
was it?
Yeah, Pat. He was a special player. He got this edge to him, and that's what make him a great player.
Yeah, sometimes you can just hear it.
Yeah, you a funny guy. You are on your way, boy. You the next Chris Rock for sure for that one right there.
All right, so Zeke punches that in there. You get it back within one score. Does this change the mood for the offense at all, Cardale?
In a way, yeah. That we didn't have to finally settle for another 3, but I mean, it was like, okay, now we're back to doing what we're supposed to be doing. So let's keep rolling.
Hold on, can you rewind that? Rewind that kickoff right there. I think that boy.
Rewind that.
Yeah, rewind that. I think that boy. Corey Smith had like a great tackle in this.
Oh wow, yeah. Shouldn't have skipped that.
Yeah, he did.
So this becomes a really key defensive possession, Tyvis, and I guess that's how you started off with a good special teams play.
Oh yeah, that always get it going. You go out there and make something happen on kickoff. I mean, it's inevitable for the defense to respond. We got your back for sure.
How much of this game, like Tyvis, do you like actually can keep replay it back in your mind? Like some people remember every single snap of games they play, and they've got the photographic memory. How much for you when you think back about this one? Do you like remember certain plays, certain moments?
I mean, obviously, of course, I remember the last moment for sure.
We'll get there.
It's a couple of plays in this game that I actually remember because it's some things that I could have done better, or it was something that I needed to do that I got done. You know, that type of stuff. So it's a lot of things. Most importantly for me, it's kind of like some of the mistakes that I made. I wish I wouldn't have did this. Or did that, or did this better. Like, it's that type of thing for me. So those are the things I remember. But, like, majority of the big plays that happen on defense, I remember a great deal of them. Like, for instance, when Steve took that pick 6 to the house, we was in the cover 2 stunt. We was running cover 2 in the back, and Steve was dropping out. And we ran, and I'm like, man, this ain't about to work. And he threw that ball right to Steve. I remember that. I remember D. Lee talking trash to Lane Kiffin on the sideline. Oh man, yeah, I remember a lot actually.
What I don't remember. Like, I don't think that Darren ever told anybody what he actually said. How close?
He told me. He told me. It is that is classified information that I cannot disclose to you. Darren has to okay me for to tell the world, but I knew exactly what he said.
Has to stay a secret. All right.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to go back and think, covering you guys in this game, but just how many NFL guys, how much talent was on this field for both teams, really. But just some of the guys that made. You talked about Steve Miller, and Duran Grant helps make a play here and gets you guys off the field. It's like everybody out there was playing at such a high level. This was really one of the most talented games, I think, of the playoff era, and it was at the start of it. Do you guys, I mean, when you think back on that season and the amount of talent that you were with on that roster and your teammates, like, is that crazy to think about still, or do you think about it that way?
It is, because guess what? You got also 2 unbelievable NFL punters right now, and J.K. Scott and Cam.
Even the punters, is what you're saying.
Yeah, even the 2 punters are NFL guys who starting for their team, respective team, and are deadly weapons for their team. So, yeah, you got literally from the punters. Yeah. Or it was.
Didn't he win the Ray Guy Award?
Yeah, he won like 2 years in a row.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. When you sit back and think about the players that's playing, like all of them, it's a lot of people that's in there. I want to say like.
Well,
over about 70% of these players has played in the NFL, and actually like are good. Like you got Mike Thomas, who's like the top receiver in the NFL. You got Zeke, the top running back. You got Eddie Jackson back there, Landon Collins. Like it's a Joey out. Yeah, it was.
You got the highest paid receiver in NFL history. You got the highest paid running back in NFL history. You got one of the highest paid. You got 2 of the highest paid safeties in NFL in the NFL playing on this game. You got probably arguably the highest paid player, edge rusher next year, and Joey playing this game. You know, you got some ballers.
You got the leading Russian last year, Derrick Henry, in this game.
You got the freaking you got 2 Heisman trophies on one team in this game. Well, no, Mariota won it this year, but Henry won it like the following year. So yeah, you got some guys. You got freaking one of the best young tight ends in the game in this game, OJ freaking Howard.
Yeah, Amari Cooper.
Yeah, you got 2 of the highest paid receivers in NFL history.
It's actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Did you know that Mike Thomas was this kind of special?
No one did. Whoever want to lie, whoever ever tell you who we played with that said they saw this coming is full of shit.
I tell you right, I will tell you one thing I will say about Mike. Mike was definitely one of the hardest working dudes I knew. So, like, to see that he's reached this, I mean, you definitely know he put the work in for it. So I won't say it's shocking, but it wasn't like my first thought was like Mike gonna be the best receiver. I never really thought that. Like I knew he was a hard worker and I knew he was a great player, but I didn't think he would be what he is today.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy to think about that, like redshirting in 2013, like not even as a true freshman. Look at that run, 12. My goodness.
Talk bad to him, 12.
Get your ass up. Get off the ball, pump. I'll get you some. Did Sean miss a field goal or something?
Nah, we had 6 points and we
kicked 2 field goals. And then
no, I'm saying right here. Why didn't we score points right here?
Oh, you're about to.
No, what score is this?
This is the
end. I'm about to say.
You know what's coming here. You don't throw the touchdown, but somebody throws one.
What quarter is this?
This is the end of the second.
It was 20 to 21 at halftime?
No. Oh, yeah. Got some history coming right here.
I don't remember half of this stuff.
It was 20. Oh, yeah, we were going to win this game for sure. It was 20 to 21 at halftime for sure.
So you take the timeout here. You know, this is the Evans throw to Mike Thomas about to come up right before halftime.
But did you see who was holding down on that left tackle pretty much? Me.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of the offensive linemen in this game, you got 3 first-round offensive linemen in this game just on Ohio State alone. On top of, 3 first-round defensive ends, defensive linemen on Alabama?
Hold on, wait a minute. This is get to know you. This is one of those get to know your player moments. Cardale, tell them what position you played in Muni League.
Yeah, boy, left tackle, holding it down. Yeah, what's up? Come around here if you want to. You leave it in the body bag.
He got some experience, so he was good. The edge was good.
When this call came in, Cardale, what did you think?
I was just telling Heather, if it ain't there, man, throw it away. But look, I'm waiting on somebody to come off the edge. I was gonna lay him down. I'll lay him down. Yeah, but yeah, I was just thinking that, like, hey, man, if it ain't there, just throw the thing away. But he made a heck of a throw.
Oh, Evan said that. He said this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. He said, ain't no way he's not throwing this ball.
He threw that thing, and if it got picked the other way, he better caught the guy, because I wouldn't.
Oof.
That boy better pull a Maurice Claret and strip it back.
You better have pulled something.
Is that, Cardale, this kind of play, was that does that come in from Coach Herman? Was that an Urban call? How much?
Yeah, everything you saw. This was all Coach Herman. I mean, the respect and the lead way that he earned over his career at this point. I mean, he had all the keys to the offense to call whatever play that he felt deemed that was time to call. So for the most part, Coach Meyer stayed out of his way when it came to plays and stuff like that. I mean, clearly he had a suggestion of, okay, let's get such and such the ball on this play, and Herman knew how to, or in this situation, and Herman knew how to do it.
How much did you guys rep that? Like, There's a lot of timing involved in the play.
None full speed. But I mean, some walkthrough reps and things like that because it's one of them things that you hope is wide open. But like I said, Evan just made a great pass and I think a better catch by Mike. And definitely by getting his foot down and having an awareness to turn it the way he turned and things like that. So I think this is
when y'all repped this, y'all ran it the other way.
We did because Evan is right-handed, so we definitely ran it the other way.
Oh, really?
But yeah, he was feeling like it was time to probably call this play, and it's too bad we wasn't on an appropriate hash to do so. So he made it work. But he knew he can pull up because he had me at left tackle though. So
of course, nobody wants to forget about that part. It was in your scouting report.
Yeah, he was gonna have time to get the ball out because he knew who he had protecting him. Me and the boys.
So I was about to ask, like, you guys were talking about Mike Thomas and how far he came. Like, I think sometimes people forget that the red shirt after his freshman year. Like, so when did he become this guy that could do this? Like, that's a pretty amazing catch right there. But when did you guys notice the difference where he became someone you could really count on, take the next step there?
I mean, me personally, been on the opposite side of the ball, but not in their room. I don't know what came into the decision of redshirting him his second year because the work ethic and the ability always been there. So I don't know what the decision was to redshirt him. That's it's above my pay grade. But even his redshirt year and practices and things like that, he came out to work each and every day. Giving the defense the best look possible on scout team. And on top of that, still getting his work in after practice and before and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think he probably took it as a personal challenge. And, clearly it paid off this following year and it's continued to pay off, the routine that he built and developed for himself. And that's why he's the best receiver in the NFL right now.
What was halftime like, Tyvis?
It was a very confident one. I mean, like I said, we went in. You would have thought that we was actually winning the game because we was like I said, we was dominating them on offense. I mean, obviously the score was 21-20.
Yeah.
Like I said, we knew the adjustments we had to make. That's one thing that Coach Ash and Coach Fick was like legendary at. They can make an adjustment, and the adjustment will really kind of solidify what we need to get done. As long as everybody sticks to the plan. So we had that, and we was ready to roll. Like I say, it was 20-21. We was thinking ourselves like, they supposed to be the best team. Like, we better than them for sure. Like, we just gonna go out and prove. Like I say, we had a huge chip on our shoulder. Like I say, that doubting us stuff, really, we like that. Oh, we like that.
After you guys punched in those 2 touchdowns late in the second quarter, Cardale, did you guys feel like there were still a bunch of adjustments to be made offensively, or were you? Like you said, you had 300 yards. Did you guys just feel like it was really – you didn't need to change much? Everything was working the way you wanted?
Yeah, our game plan was working. The only thing we had tweaked, I can remember going into a game plan, is we wanted to really attack the perimeter, came to the run game because they had some unbelievable big guys up front that we wanted to tire out. So, and I don't want to say we went away from, but we had a lot of success that we didn't think that would be there when we came to run the ball inside the hashes. So we just kind of attacked that oh shoot, we got the run game up the middle as well. So I wouldn't call that an adjustment, but like I said before, a lot of the things that we're doing in the first half, reason why the score was this close because it was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. And Corey should have caught that, by the way.
No, he should have. That's a dime right there. I ain't even gonna lie. That was a dime. You don't get no better than that.
Did you feel like your own confidence was growing with every snap too, Cardale? Because this, I keep saying it, no one has ever forgot that this was just your second start, but that's a pretty big deal. How much more did you feel like you could do as the game went on? Did that change? Do you remember how that felt to go through it?
I just felt good knowing that the team wasn't in a position where we had to limit what we was good at or limit what we were doing because of my lack of ability or my lack of play or lack of confidence. So that just felt good that we didn't have to go away from our identity of being a team that can run the ball and hit you with some play action deep downfield.
I don't think I've ever asked you this in any of these conversations. Did you feel like when people talked about you before Wisconsin, before this game, like, did you feel slighted that you knew what you could do, but people kept saying, well, they've got a quarterback making his second start or his first start? Like, how much of that sort of like talk about you outside of the program were you aware of? Or did you pay attention to?
Not so much. And I caught a glimpse of one thing on social media. It was the guy. Who was his name again? Darius Wiley or something like that. He got the one show. Is I saying his name wrong? Like he played
Marcellus
Wiley.
Marcellus Wiley, and he had made some. This is my thing with reporters. Like, you know, you can make all these dumbass comments about a player or insults, and as soon as a player attacks you back, oh, the player should be the bigger person, or they're wrong, and all this other crap. He made some type of comment that I kind of took personally, and that when I ran into him in the ESPYs that following year, I said something to him. You know, so the comment he made, you know, it's cool. I get it. If you want to doubt someone or you want to go with another team or you want to say this, but some of the stuff he was saying, I was just like, yeah, if he, you know, would have caught me on different circumstances, you know, not in that position, I'm pretty sure that conversation that we had at ESPY would have been actually a little differently than that. But that was the only thing I ever caught outside of, you know, in-house of when it came to doubting someone or thinking that you can or can't do something.
I would like to have been there for that conversation very much, but
yeah. it wasn't even a conversation, honestly. I just you know, I told him I didn't appreciate the comment that he said, and I just basically told him the same thing I just said, like, hey, like, I get it that you can doubt someone or go with a favor or things like that, but, you know, but it's a certain extent that you take that point to where you not just, you know, disrespecting someone's ability, but you disrespecting them as a person.
Tyvis, did you read a bunch of the stuff pregame? Did you play into your motivation factor, or how did you handle it?
I wasn't really reading, so I was watching TV. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what it really was. What really got me, because I came. So before, you know, when you start doing bowl practice, you get like a break. So after the Big Ten championship, we got like a little break. So I came. Yep. I shot to Cleveland, you know, to hang with my family, and I was, you know, we was just sitting around talking with my friends and family, and you know, they was like, yeah, y'all got Alabama, you my boy, but like I don't think y'all gonna beat them. And I was explaining to them, like, I'm telling y'all, I done watched the tape, and I'm telling y'all, like, they not the same Alabama that you think they are. Like they vulnerable. And everybody was looking at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is Alabama type thing. So that was one of the things that kind of motivated me. But then watching the, like, you know, like the ESPN where they just like, you know, they do the predictions and everybody was like, yeah, Alabama for sure, Alabama for sure. The only person that was like there for us was Philly Brown. I think he was in Carolina at the time. He was like, Ohio State go win by like 21 or something like that. I was like, all right, see that. But I mean, he was biased, of course. So that was the things that was, you know, that I seen that kind of motivated me. Like, okay, so we got to go out here and show the world what we really about, type thing.
That's got to be a lot tougher to take when it's coming from the family, though. Those are supposed to be supposed to tell you straight.
You know, because so my family is originally from Birmingham, so like,
okay,
you know, they Crimson Tide fans and stuff. So like before the game, I always see my family before the game, and the ultimate disrespect is when my cousin came up to me wearing Alabama stuff. I was like, oh, y'all tripping now. Like they was like, we rooting for you. But, you know, we got to roll with the Tide. I'm like, all right, bet. That was the last thing I seen. Bet. All right, watch this.
Yeah. But, I mean, thing you can say about Alabama and us, Ohio State, you know, we got some diehard fans, you know, that's going to support us no matter what. And, you know, I had some situations like that come up, too, with you know, close family friends that are like, yeah, we cheering for you, but not your team. I'm like, what? They're like, I hope you do good personally. Yeah, they're like, I hope you do good personally, but, you know, I hope Alabama win. And, you know, other teams like that you come across and play. And I'm like, you know, I respect it, but okay.
Tyvis, that was a big sack there from Mike Bennett. What was you remember about that guy as a teammate and really important kind of captain for you guys?
Woo! Hey, Mike B is like he was one of the most underrated players on the defense. Like he literally got things done in the middle. Like he made his presence known in the middle, and the way he could get to the quarterback after getting off of double teams, it was just really unbelievable. But the thing about him is, so between me, him, and Joey, funny thing, before we would go out on defense, we were always me, him, and Joey would always get together. But you know what? I'm thinking of throwing out this drive. What you guys think? So me, Mike, and Joey, we like, yeah, I think we should go 3 it out this drive. Let's check with Joey to see if that's okay. Joey, is it okay with you? We go 3 it out. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we would always joke around. But that's the thing. Like, it was such a serious game, but we always find moments to joke a little bit to keep us loose. And I think that's the type of stuff that's, that kept us going, kept us motivated, and just kept us loose. We wasn't tight.
That's one of the things when I remember, that week of the game, and from my perspective, like every time that you guys would come to a media event, obviously, Tyvis, you were loose in any situation, but most of your teammates were too. Like, you guys were joking around, lighthearted. Cardale didn't show, many nerves publicly, but like I said, you became a real big hit, and people gave you a ton of media MVP awards that week. But when Alabama came in, it was all serious. There was no lighthearted moments. Like it was like they weren't allowed to smile, and that was one reason for me that you looked at that game. It was like, I think there's something to be said for a team that likes to have fun and isn't just treating it like a life and death opportunity.
Yeah, I actually got to give that credit to Coach Meyer. He always, like on Best Fridays of football, he would always give us chances to like mess around, have fun. But when it's time to lock in, it's time to lock in. And I think the team really took that into play. And obviously media day, we're not playing the game. So like we can have fun with this. We gotta sit here for a whole hour anyway. So we might as well make some fun to be who we are. Like, don't sit there and be tight and like we gotta be by the book type thing. Like, no, that's not who we are. Let's be ourselves. Like everybody just kind of caught on to it. Like Tyvis is really Tyvis don't care if the camera there or not. He gonna be the same person.
Come get your son. Yeah, go get your son.
This is the thing. You did it again in the national championship game, Cardale, where you had some of these like you're getting 6. Like you fall down and get 6 yards. And you got that momentum going. I don't know anyone who wants to tackle you when you get ahead of steam.
Come get you some. That's what I tell them. Come get you some. That's what I said. North and south.
I know.
North and south. Huh?
I know a couple takers.
North and south.
Come on, man. 2, 3, give me the
Hey, Tyvis. Boy, I see you in that A-gap, boy. It'll be a long day.
I ain't worried about it, bro. We think a lot of people think that. That's the funny part. A lot of people think
Tyvis, I see you in that A-gap. It's going to be a long day for you.
Hey, make sure your mind right, because I'm telling you right now, I'm not giving you no friend discount. We going for it.
Tyvis, I got the 2-for-1 special for you. Like I'm gonna bite down on my mouthpiece and close my eyes.
Because you can't pass over. You know what happened in the spring game when you thought you was gonna do something to me.
Yeah. He made a nice play. Like listen, man, wow, you had a good play, Tyvis. That's what you're gonna live off the rest of your life.
It happened in high school too, though.
Tyvis, you caught a tip interception.
What that mean? Well, for the game, though.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
But it's something about me.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
It's something about me in the last.
Noah Brown on a jet sweep.
That was Noah?
Yeah. Caught a play. Jalen should have been in.
Get out, Noah.
I think if you got 15 or 17, that might be the right way to go instead of 80.
Yeah, we called the play. I looked in the back. I said, oh, okay, I guess they see something I don't see. Here you go.
Noah, power runner.
I said, go, huh? Good luck, buddy. Show the world.
Great special teams play. That boy was. He was definitely.
Look at young Gary. Look, young Garyon Conley.
Garyana. I do recall Coach Ash saying we was gonna need 3 interceptions to win this game.
Is that right?
He did. He said it's gonna take 3 interceptions to win this game, and God dang it, we got 3 interceptions to win the game.
That seems like a high bar to reach, to lay that down in pregame that you got to get 3 picks out of the secondary.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was just
you get 3 turnovers. You get 3 turnovers. Ain't too many games you go lose.
You're right about that. Oh, that boy foul, and they gonna hit that boy in the flats. They threw that boy in the flats. It was the ones. I'm like, nah, I ain't going out like that.
Wow, like, yeah.
What's it like to try and tackle?
You gotta see the thing about it. You gotta get him before he start rolling, because once he start rolling, that's when it's hard.
He just doesn't look like you're running back.
Goodbye, help you.
Vaughn.
I remember, the first night we all get down there and we don't have a curfew, so we all on Bourbon Street and we all just walking up and down. Everybody find themselves at the same restaurants and stuff like that. And I ran into Derrick Henry, hey, I just dapped them up and stuff like that. How guys just running into each other. And I remember bumping him. You know how you dap up and bring it in for the hug, Tyvis? Yeah. And I was like, uh-oh. I'm like,
no, that's about 45.
He was one of the most solid people I ever felt in my life. I was like,
uh-oh. That foul dude, that dude I just made that tackle on, I'm like, listen, bro, you ain't about to do me like everybody else. You ain't. You ain't.
Yeah, I ain't even had to tackle none of them dudes. I'm just looking like this, man. That's my mindset when I be running though. I'm like, man, listen, they gonna try to bring it to you, so you might as well bring it.
Hey, I swear.
I'm like, cause I know Derrick Henry bringing it.
Wise man once said, "Be the hammer, not the nail."
That's why I got to get north and south.
Immediately.
Get that hammer going.
All right, Tyvis, you said you remember the
– Steve. Okay, Steve. Get out, Steve. Now, this is a great block by Duran by stopping back and get him. Curtis get to finish the block. Steve in the end zone. That boy, Steve got the juice, boy. I didn't even know he was that fan.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You said this is one that you always remember, Tyvis. Like,
oh, my goodness.
Take me through what you guys are doing here.
All right, we running cover 2 in the back end, but we got it's like a simulated blitz, so a lot of people look like they coming, but they not. And Steve is dropping back to be in the hole, and he threw that ball right to him. He threw that ball right to Steve.
I mean, that's playing
too.
What's the celebration like? Remember, what's the feeling when you make a play like that? And you guys, now you're 2 possessions up in this game. And Steve Miller, of all people, is the one who made a pick 6.
What's the feeling?
What's the feeling? What's that party like over there on the sideline?
Listen, we already knew what it was. I'm trying to tell, we knew it. All we doing is showing y'all. Look, man, we don't care. This is over with. Y'all, that 21 y'all got it. That's y'all done. We done figured it out.
I mean, if you had to make a list of your teammates that were going to make a play like that,
I wouldn't have put Steve on the list for sure.
This made his entire career.
All it takes is one. This was a big play though. This play was huge.
Had that been something that these are always stupid questions coming from the media, but you had to have known that this was set up all week, right? That you guys would be there would be a time for that.
That block by Durant was so key, man. That was the most unselfish thing Durant could ever do. Stop back and peel back and knock Amari Cooper off, because Amari Cooper would have caught him for sure.
Right.
And so Durant, and then Curtis getting out and lead blocking. And the good thing about it was, I think the three players, those three players I just named was all seniors.
Right.
I want to say. Yeah, this was their last season. So to see all three of them, they came in together. I want to say they was all roommates.
It's all roommates. Yeah, it's all roommates.
All three of them was roommates. To see them all click up like that to make that play happen, like that was special. This that one?
This might be that thing.
This that one?
This that thing? This that thing?
You know what? It's the question I always.
This ain't it. Oh, get you some. Get you some.
You had to get the first down. I think people forget that. You had to get the first down to set up the one.
Yeah, look, you hurt here in the big body. Get you some.
That's a question I've been dying to ask you about this play coming up. Is it true, Cardale, that you was supposed to motion Evan and you didn't, and he had to come all the way from outside to make that block?
Yeah, for Zeke. Yeah, because that hit I took in the back of the head, I couldn't remember nothing.
He said that he was sitting there looking at you like you supposed to motion me and you didn't. So
I said I'll catch you later. I can't remember. I can't remember. I can't remember my name right now.
Look, it worked out better though. It worked out better this way.
That's what I told him. I said if I'd have motioned you, they'd have knew it was coming. Look at Evan looking at me the whole time. He's like, hey, I'm looking at him like, no, stay there, bro.
Look,
okay.
It was coming.
It really set him up and gave him the angle for that 2-for-1.
That's what I'm saying. It actually worked out.
I said, that's what I told him. I said, just like we drew it up, Evan.
One shoe.
I think Tom Herman had to probably change his look after that. Don't motion in.
Right. Evan was like, did you forget the motion? I said, man, no. I forgot everything. I was so happy he scored, man, because that hit to the back of the head, I was in the days for a couple of plays.
You still made it all the way down there to celebrate.
Man, true. Yeah, I'm glad it was like a TV timeout afterwards. Because this 2-point conversion, I don't know how Mike caught it because I wasn't throwing it to him. I think Mike caught it. I think I was throwing it to like Corey. I don't know where the ball went.
That's interesting.
I'm like, yeah, good catch, man. Heck of a play. I'm like, woo. Where did that go?
It's interesting to get that perspective on this, Cardale, because everybody's talked about Zeke's run forever and then, Evan and not going into the backfield. We've talked to him about that before, but like your run before that and then the hit that's a big part of it. People don't ever remember that. And I guess you don't either.
Shoot, look. Yeah, I really don't either. I swear this ball was going to Corey. Yeah, Corey, who was running in the flat. It was behind him.
It was a good miss.
Yeah, clean miss, baby. Clean miss.
It worked out.
It was so funny. It was so funny because Mike's supposed to be on the corner route, and he was just sitting there. I'm like, yeah, that's how we drew it up, man. Yeah, I knew that.
So everybody missed their assignment and it worked out for 2 points.
It be like that sometimes.
Oh, for sure. That's the way you draw it up.
If everybody wrong, then everybody right.
All right, last couple minutes here, Tyvis. This drive, you let it get into. Alabama gets the ball one last time. We know how it ends, but what's the pressure on a defense in this situation? You guys are trying to put it away.
Listen to me. They just hit me with a double move. Boy hit me with a dig and go. I said, listen to me. I don't care what they catch in front of me. They ain't getting behind me ever again. I know that. I said, we ain't come this far to just come this far. Ain't no way this man about to score on us.
You got to, like, at this point in the game, it's been a slugfest. The game's on the line. Like, you got to be like.
For me, I'm like, wherever Coop at, that's where I'm going. Forget that. We favor Coop.
Cardale, if you're watching, like, are you nervous that you're going to have to keep playing here? Look at that. It looks like somebody might be nervous.
No, I don't like this. Whatever happens, happens. I love it. I mean, I love to have the ball in my hands, the last play, drive, or whatever it may be of the game. That should have been a fumble, by the way.
Oh, yes.
They balled him up. Man, they balled him up. But, yeah, I'm like, I'd love to have the ball.
Lee was out there.
Yeah, he wasn't playing that game. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, come on, score. I dare you. Score. Score.
No,
Because it's going to hurt worse. It's going to hurt worse if we come back and score.
One thing I will say about the Buckeyes, if it ever go in overtime, you can count it as a dub for sure.
You guys have been through some of those. That overtime in 2013 in the rivalry game was one of the wilder games I've been a part of. That was we're at that point now where we're talking about you keeping game balls, Tyvis. Like that was another one where it felt like
Eli could have did it. Eli could have ended this. He could have did it.
Great.
I said, you know what, Eli, watch out. I see what I got to do. Come on.
Bring that over here.
On. Try one more time on this side.
bring that party over here.
Call me the closer for a reason, boy. Mamba mentality. Come on, throw it over here. Let me show you something. Ooh, good rush, Steve.
Okay.
Oh, get out the way. Get out the way. We out, Armani. We out.
Now, why did you return it?
Because I was trying to score. That's what. You know what? I got to tell everybody. If the roles was flipped, I bet everything on my bank account they would have did it to us. He would have took that ball and tried to return it on us. So I'm going to do it to you first. You're not going to get me because I'm going to get you first.
Hey, you got hawked by a tight end, though.
Man, because Vaughn was supposed to chip the dude. I actually was trying to get away from Coop. Coop was the fastest one out there. So Coop bundled me back to the dude. Vaughn ain't want to block. Vaughn sat there. If I could do it all over, I would run to the left because once I caught the ball, like everybody started celebrating and running on the field. So I would have had so many blocks to the left because it got called back, but I still would have scored though.
That's what matters. We got to the end. We skipped down a lot, so we didn't go through the full game. But Cardale Jones and Tyvis Powell are busy guys, even during the quarantine. But we wanted to try something different. Hopefully, these guys enjoyed another stroll down to look at one of the greatest games in Ohio State history. They played a huge role in that. Went on to win the national championship. Always appreciate them hanging out with us at Lettermen Row, guys. The celebration after that, what was it like before you go?
Sleep.
That might have been one of the most physical games we've been a part of. So I think everybody was pretty banged up. I mean, it was a great feeling. We partied in the locker room, but man, it was nighty-night.
No celebrating on Bourbon Street, huh?
Yeah,
not much.
We did, but not me. I went to bed.
You still had a national championship to win, so I guess that might have influenced it. So we're going to cut these guys loose. Cardale Jones, Tyvis Powell, really appreciate you guys taking the time. Hope you stay safe during this coronavirus and stay quarantined. And if you want to watch more film, always let us know at Lettermen Row. Appreciate your time, guys.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. See you next time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and we got Buckeye Q with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.